plain called Dagorlad lay before the gates of Mordor, its desolate expanse destined to witness a clash that would define the close of the Second Age. Gil-galad, High King of the Elves, and Elendil, Lord of the Dunedain, marched with a grand host known as the Last Alliance. They aimed to stop Sauron from subjugating all the free peoples. Many heard the thunder of thousands of feet and the echo of horns across the plain. This was no minor skirmish, but a colossal confrontation that saw elves, men, and eventually dwarven allies gathered to confront Sauron's hordes of orcs, trolls, and allied foul creatures. The threat posed by Sauron had grown for centuries. He had forged the One Ring, schemed in lands distant, and assaulted the strongholds of men. Gil-galad recognized that no separate realm could stand alone against such malice. He extended counsel to the great lords, forging an alliance that encompassed the greatest hosts of Lindon, Arnor, and Gondor, plus many lesser fiefs. Even Orofar, king of the Sylvan Elves in Greenwood, marched to Dagorlad, though tension lingered between him and the Noldoran realms. When the armies at last gathered, they were said to be vast, with bright banners in the wind. The hearts of many soared, hoping that unity could topple Sauron's Black Empire. Sauron's own legions had sealed the Morannon, or Black Gate of Mordor. Orcs poured out to meet the challenge, some brandishing crude but fearsome weapons. Others formed into disciplined lines under the watch of dreaded captains. Trolls lumbered behind them, driven forward by whips. In the sky hung a haze that drifted from the volcanic fires within Mordor, dimming the sunlight. Dagorlad's soil grew thick with dust, littered with old bones from previous conflicts. It felt like a haunted threshold to Sauron's domain, where the living dared to stand against an ancient menace. The tide of battle raged for days. Gil-galad, wielding Eglos, led the elves with unmatched skill. Elendil stood at his side, Narsil in hand. Orofar's warriors fought with valor, but paid a terrible price when they advanced too boldly. They were unaccustomed to following another's command, and in the chaos, many perished. The records state that the plain ran red with blood as orcs fell in droves, yet the allied forces also suffered harsh losses. Even so, the allies pressed on, pushing Sauron's horde back toward the gates of Mordor. At last, the battered armies overcame the orcish lines. The fortress gate was forced to yield, leading to the protracted Siege of Barad-dûr itself. Dagorlad proved a victory that opened the path into the very heart of Sauron's power, yet it was a costly triumph. Gil-galad stood among the mightiest warriors of his day, but after the siege dragged on, he met his end at Sauron's own hand. Elendil likewise fell, Narsil breaking beneath him. Isildur took up the shards, cutting the ring from Sauron's finger. The Dark Lord's spirit fled, leaving Middle-earth a momentary reprieve from utter conquest. Dagorlad had served as the gateway to that final confrontation. Without the victory there, the allies could not have assailed Barad-dûr. Had Sauron prevailed on that plain, the entire war would have ended in ruin. The aftermath shaped the world for centuries. Though the allies triumphed, none overcame the sting of Gil-galad's and Elendil's deaths. Isildur claimed the ring but refused to destroy it. Thus, the seed of future doom was planted. For a time, men established strong realms in Gondor and Arnor. Elves returned to their woodland or coastal havens, exhausted by war. The plain of Dagorlad remained a place of grim memory, haunted by the ghosts of fallen soldiers from both sides. Indeed, travelers in later ages spoke of a dryness, a sense that the ground still thirsted from the savage violence once spilled there. Yet Middle-earth as a whole saw Sauron's shadow recede. The victory at Dagorlad reaffirmed that unity among elves, men, and other free peoples could topple even the strongest fortress of darkness. It was a culminating moment of the Second Age, setting the stage for the Third Age, in which Gondor and Arnor would flourish, at least for a time. Every so often, echoes of that battle lingered in the songs of minstrels, recounting how the bright standards of Gil-galad and Elendil gleamed on a battlefield near Mordor's black gates, how the armies braved orcs in a storm of blood and dust, and how hope prevailed, though purchased with bitter sacrifice. Some centuries later, when Sauron arose again, the memory of Dagorlad's victory served as a reminder that evil, however dreadful, could be beaten back, provided the free peoples found the resolve to stand together. Yet the sorrow of that field never truly faded. Even after the War of the Ring ended the Third Age, legends claim travelers still sensed the silent woe that clung to that barren land, recalling a day when the best of elves and men met the terror of Mordor head-on. The confrontation at Dagorlad remains forever etched in Middle-earth's story as the battle that opened the path to unseating Sauron at the height of his might, reaffirming that unity and valor can forge a brighter day, even if the cost is steep and the victory incomplete. Click below and reward yourself with another fascinating and exciting story.